Don't you know there is a normal-looking house in America that stays locked all year? No owner, no visitors. Yet once every year, the front door opens on its own. And whatever happens inside is never talked about the same way again. The house stood quietly at the end of a narrow residential street in a small American town. It wasn't broken, abandoned, or hidden. It blended in perfectly with the other homes. White paint, wooden porch, small front yard. People passed it every day without giving it much thought. But no one lived there. The house had no lights at night. No cars parked outside, no mail collected. Still, it never looked neglected. The grass was always trimmed. The windows were clean. The door stayed locked. Except once. The first time anyone noticed something unusual was decades ago. A local delivery worker saw the front door slightly open while walking his route. He assumed the owner had returned after a long absence. But when he looked inside, the house was empty, furnished, clean, quiet. The next day, the door was locked again. That would have been forgotten if it hadn't happened again. And again, every year, the door opened once. Only once, people began to notice the pattern. The door never opened early, never stayed open long. No one ever saw it unlock. It simply opened as if the house had decided to breathe for a moment. At first, people joked about it. Some thought it was a caretaker visiting yearly. Others assumed a timed lock or legal inspection. But no one ever saw anyone enter or leave, until one year someone did. A young man named Evan, curious and confident, decided to step inside while others watched from across the street. He stayed only a short while. When he came back out, his face had changed. He didn't scream, he didn't panic. He just said the house felt like it was aware of him. He moved away soon after. Years passed. Fewer people talked about the house, but everyone remembered it. Parents warned their children not to go near it. New residents heard the story and laughed, until they saw the door open themselves. Then a journalist arrived. Claire was calm, curious, and patient. She didn't believe in supernatural explanations. She believed in record systems and logic. She researched the house and found something strange. It legally existed, paid taxes automatically, and was owned by a trust with no listed people. No owner, no manager, no contact. When the door opened during her stay, Claire entered alone. Inside, the house felt lived in, but not recently. Furniture was arranged carefully. Photographs lined the walls, but faces were missing, blurred, or turned away. Clocks were present in every room, all stopped. A notebook sat on the table. The notebook wasn't old, it wasn't dusty. It looked recent. Inside were short entries written years apart. Each entry described a visitor, not by name, but by behavior. One line mentioned someone noticing the clock. Another mentioned someone staying too long. The last entry appeared unfinished. Claire felt watched. She left the house quickly, just as the door began to close on its own. Later, reviewing her footage, she noticed something disturbing. In the recordings, a shape appeared behind her in the hallway, always present, always still, never visible to her eyes. Only the camera captured it. Claire shared her findings publicly. The story spread. More people came the following year. Some wanted proof, some wanted answers. A few entered the house together. One of them never came out. Authorities were called, the house was sealed. Locks were tested, walls were examined. Nothing explained how the house opened, or why it resisted forced entry afterward. Inside, a new photograph appeared. It showed the missing man standing inside the hallway. The house did not open again that year. The next year it did. People stopped entering. They began to understand something the house was teaching slowly. It did not trap everyone. Only the ones who stayed too long, the ones who listened too closely, the ones who felt familiar inside. The house wasn't abandoned, it was selective. Locals now gather at a distance when the door opens. No one crosses the porch. No one steps inside, the door opens. The house breathes, then it closes again, and life continues. But sometimes when the street is quiet, people swear the house sounds occupied, as if something inside is moving furniture, adjusting frames, waiting. The house is still there, still clean, still locked, and still opening, only when it decides. If you enjoy calm mysteries that hide unsettling truths, subscribe to The Real Crime Truth. Thank you for watching.